Okay, I'm gonna unplug me here.
Yeah. Coming through, signals clear. Aw, yeah. It's Geocache Talk. Whoa.
It's time for Geocache Talk. Whether you are at work, in the car, or wherever you are, we hope you enjoy this show about the great sport of geocaching. If you're watching live on YouTube, you can be part of the adventure tonight in the chat room and participate with others as they watch the show. If you are listening later, please give it a like and subscribe on your favorite podcasting app so that you can get all of the weekly Geocache Talk goodness.
All right. Big thanks to the Travel Bugs for our opening and to Joshua for letting us use his crazy video. And our featured patrons, Motorima, Kimalisa, Bloody Cool, Traveling Geek, Life is a Horse on a Boat, JR and Juju, Team G Winchester, Boo Boo _1, Kitty Catch, and our new patrons, Gobi Geocachers, Crime Fighter 89, Demaco 4, OLB 1992, and CP 590. If you'd like to become a patron, click on the Become a Patron link on the front page of the Geocache website. It's the little heart. Or you can head on over to patreon.com/Geocache Talk for more details. Patrons get the now famous blackout coin. Or whatever coin you want to show.
I don't know. Is that one?
That's that one.
All right.
You can buy others. There's the new Geocache Talk one, the Sunday show one. Okay. Other geocaching items
Pretty blue one.
are available during the year to patrons. Bonus content, invites to special events only for patrons. Support levels start at as little as Bison Tube level. That is $3 a month. Well, welcome back, Jesse. We're back after a couple weeks off. And you might be muted.
I'm muted. See, I'm out of practice already. It's
That's
been a
okay.
few weeks since we've been live on the air.
I know it's been a couple weeks, but we're all back, so this is great. And we got a big show tonight. We've got a lot of guests, so we'll go around the room and then we'll jump into some news. And then after that, we'll get into the topics. So first, I want to introduce back to the show, D, Vickery. There she is, Team D&D. Thanks for coming back. I think you're muted. Let me unmute you. Okay, there you go. Say hi.
Hi, the hubby's here too.
And then also, we've got, for tonight, we've got Tom is with us, Electric Water Boy. There he is. And Michelle is with us tonight. Michelle, Gone Fishing. I remember Gone Fishing 2?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And we'll explain why we've got different people on. Charles is going to join us too to talk about things to do with Texas Challenge and things that are surrounding Texas Challenge. But first, and Julia's on watching. She says, hey. So,
Hey, Julia. Hello.
And well, let's start first. We got some news. So
is it normal or breaking?
It's just regular. So let me do the regular one. So a couple first items I want to get to is Worldwide Cache Con. Worldwide Cache Con is coming on December. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been on, hasn't it? January 30th.
Yeah, we're in a new year now. You can't blame it on 2020. So.
I can't blame it on that anymore. For more information, you can go to. Oh, I don't want it to be a banner. Let me switch it. Let's make it a regular, full blown. If you go to geocachetalk.com/WWCC21, get all the latest information about Worldwide CacheCon. We've been working hard on getting Worldwide CacheCon ready. Very excited about that. 8 hours. It's not a podcast, so if you're not a podcast fan, or if you are, either way, come join us for that. It's going to have some great content. Think of it more as a virtual conference you get to be a part of. Some interacting things, things you got to watch out for. Keep an eye out. You know how trackables work.
Mm-hmm.
Those may show up. We've got giveaways. We've got promo codes. We've got great videos. We've got great items that we're going to have from around the world.
All over the world. So it is truly worldwide. We didn't just say it because it sounded cool.
No, we didn't. Yeah, exactly. We are working with people in really every continent that's helping to provide some great content for this. And if you're interested, because we are going to talk some swag tonight about, but also if you're interested in some swag around Worldwide CacheCon, you can go to that website, the Geocache Talk, WWCC21, and there's a link to this site, gcswag.com/swag for Worldwide CacheCon. Again, that is January 30th from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Adjust your clocks accordingly. So that is Worldwide CacheCon. Let us then jump over to planetary geology on Earth. Jesse, talk a little bit about that one.
Yeah, this is a pretty interesting thing that kind of dropped during Christmas time when everybody was, with family and hanging out and doing everything else. But with Earth Cache, with GSA, they are partnering to do something actually new for Earth caching, which is hard to imagine something new because, geology doesn't change. But with the Mars rover and everything else that's happening with Mars right now, they're doing, I don't know if it's going to be a long-term thing forever. We'll have a lot of the information in the notes because there's a lot of it. But you can currently publish Earth caches that are comparing the geology between Earth and Mars. So never before have you been able to do any Earth caches that are related to things outside of the planet, but you can right now. So, of course, because it's an Earth cache, there's a lot of complicated information, more than we would cover without doing a whole show. But we put all the links in the notes, and there's examples, and there's a whole bunch of information on what kind of geology you can cover. But and there's a title just like they do with challenges or when they did the ARs, when they let us try the ARs out. You have to put it in the title. And it's I don't know how long it is, but go on and check all that information out. There's already several that are out, and I think Tom has even published one already.
I've got one. It was my third Earth cache.
So what kind of Earth cache was it? Just so we'll know, and then we can move on past that, and everybody can check out the information. But just so I'll have kind of an idea of what we're talking about.
I was comparing a stream dry creek bed to a photo of Mars, and you had to decide if the place in Mars had water from what you were seeing in it. Had water in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've got some audio issues going on. I don't know. Jesse, I'm going to mute you for a second, see if it goes away. So anyway, all right. So I don't know if that was, nope, it's not Jesse. So I don't know. We can't figure it out. We'll work on it.
Well,
Thank you for mentioning it in the chat room. But yes, we're hearing it as well. So yes, we're hearing it. Yes.
Nope, not me.
Maybe I'll leave and come back. So all right. So
Anyways, it's a promotional event going on with Earth Caches right now. Go check it out. There's a blog on it. You can, I don't know if it's going to be forever, but for right now, they've got it going on, and you can have something that's a little bit different with Earth Caches. Earth Caches really haven't changed since they came out, so to do something different, that's definitely news. Uh-oh, Gary's gone, and I don't hear any of that. Oh, no, I still hear it. It'd have been a lot more fun to blame it on Gary.
it would have been fun. Not me.
Yeah. It's not you, but it'd been a lot more fun to blame it on you.
Oh well. We'll figure it out later on. All right, let's continue.
Tincture says the government is recording us.
Yeah, we've had this problem before. We can never quite figure it out. So
You get this many people from Texas on one show, and they get a
Hey,
little nervous.
hey,
I'm just
hey.
saying.
hey,
Hey,
yeah. All right, we're gonna move on.
out there,
and
killer.
we'll focus. So let's focus, people. Not you, the chat room. All right, let's get into the topic tonight. This is an interesting topic for a couple different reasons. One is last year I had mentioned that Texas Challenge was the oldest mega, and of course I got shot down quickly about the fact that Woodstock was a tad longer by a couple months. Is that correct, D? I think that was.
So, we're the longest running event,
Yeah, that's what it
Right.
was.
but Woodstock, because Woodstock was the first mega. Woodstock 4 here in Texas, in Dallas,
Yeah.
was the first mega ever. So Woodstock is the longest running mega, but we are the longest running event, yearly event.
Yes. And last year was weird, but we were able to, it was just kind of timing wise. Texas Challenge was kind of the last event, mega. Well, one of the last megas that could occur last year.
It was the last mega to occur last year.
Yeah, in Texas. So, I mean,
No,
in the
everywhere.
US. Yeah.
Everywhere else canceled.
Yeah. And so it was just like we barely it slipped in the door just like this much. Cause remember we were down in Round Rock and there was discussions about, I mean, right? You heard?
Oh yeah. That was you can have, well, Michelle was right in the trenches there with me, and Julia and Debbie Parker. And let me tell you, like Friday before, we were in a pie shop when the governor talked, and we knew Travis County had already put but we were in Williamson County by about 5 miles. And we were literally staring at the TV screen, at my phone screen, listening to the governor's announcement going, okay, are we going to have to, cancel? And the hotel was, everybody else had canceled except for our attendees and like 4 people. And so it was Texas Challenge. Being behind the scenes is always very stressful, but that was probably one of the most stressful. Yeah, it was, I needed a couple. I mean, I don't drink, and I drank every night that week. So,
It was, but it was a great event. And you
it went
guys
off without a hitch. I mean, everything was
did.
fine. They brought out the sanitizer, and we just went with it. So
yeah, all the events were great. It was just a great time. It's something too that I always like to point out at the beginning, and that is, yes, it is called, I'll get the official name of it, but yes, it's a Texas event, but it's really open for everyone.
absolutely, we have several people that come over from overseas every year. And a couple of them have been communicating with me going, we're going to do our best to get there. And, if they'll open up our country, we want to be there. And a couple of our individual winners are actually from France. So it definitely garners people from all over the world, which is cool for us because, the one cool thing about Texas is pretty much wherever you go, if you say Texas, it, people perk up because, we're Texas. So.
Yeah. Been great. Been able to go the last several, and so again, we're going to talk about tonight's. But the interesting thing also about it is that it involves another event has sort of been able to be part of it at the same time, which is a challenge. If everybody loves challenges, those are always a lot of fun. We got a whole show on challenges out there. So there you go, challenge talk. But this one has to do with all the counties in Texas. So if we can get Charles to come up, we can talk a little bit about Finisher's event. There he is.
Before Charles talks about that, I just want to stir the pot a little bit. So we have a lot of people that are big into stats, right? If you don't have your event in 2020, but you do have it again in 2021, like other megas, are they still considered continuous events? Or are they all starting over except for the ones that happened in 2020? I'm just going to throw that out there for people. If you didn't get to have it in 2020, is it a continuously running event or are you restarting it after it's over?
Well, I'm not sure, but we got ours off. So
I'm just saying, I'm not.
Yeah.
It's not a continuously running if you skip a year, I don't believe, but.
And that's an asterisk, I think. Can we do a Texas Challenge virtual? I don't know. I hope it doesn't come to that. We're working real hard to make sure it happens, but this pandemic has kind of put a little bit of a bucket of water on everything.
Yeah, I think if for people that are hardcore stat people, it's definitely going to mess up some people's world. But y'all aren't going to pick on that. Y'all are going to be above that. But somebody has to.
No, we're not.
Somebody has to stir the pot.
You brought it up, sir, not me. Just saying.
That wasn't even me. That's the government dubbed it over me. We already know they're listening tonight, so.
So come to Texas. We'll sit around a table and eat stuff and drink stuff and argue about it.
Well, and this show is perfect for our intro, which was CashCon, because I looked it up right as we were starting the show. There's only 174 events planned worldwide, published at all, and that goes into 2022.
And how many of those are in Texas?
Probably half of them, but that's not the point.
Funny.
See, the rest of the world has this thing called COVID. Y'all just hadn't heard about it yet, so you shut down your events. It hadn't made it down there yet, but we're all just jealous. The closest event to me, I looked it up, is not even in my state. It's 225 miles from me. That's not fair.
Yeah.
The closest
to me is 20 miles. Tomorrow.
Next Saturday, about a mile and a half from the house. And it's my event.
There you go.
Then there's one on Sunday.
Yeah, we probably should address that first, and then we'll get into that was the one I was going to bring up.
Yep, there you go.
Hugh, now here's the thing. Hugh lives in Canada, so he's like, with COVID happening, is it still going ahead? Well, of course it's going ahead. We're in Texas. We don't.
I think he has to fly to Mexico and then come back, though. He can't go across the border anywhere else. You can't go from Canada to Texas right now. So.
And Jesse's listening. Yes, Texas Challenge is now the oldest continually running mega event in the world. Yeah.
Oh, man, that's going to make some people mad.
Yeah.
I bet Jesse has a shirt printed before the week's over, though. But anyway.
I'll argue it either way as long as I get fed.
There you go.
Okay, all right. I didn't want to steal Charles's thunder, but I had to stir the pot just a little bit.
No problem. So again, we've got another event that's been able to be a part of it. So Charles, tell us a little bit about how this came about and when this all occurred, and I will be right back. I'm going to try and reboot and see if it helps. So talk about Texas Challenge, and I'll be right back.
All right. So what I host is a Texas County Challenge Finishers Reunion. This year's going to be the 8th annual event. I kind of got a wild hair in my thought process, and I asked if I could piggyback on the Texas Challenge Mega event. It was one of the events where most of the people who had finished the Texas County Challenge had been able to all be at the same place at the same time. And so I hosted my first event for this in 2014 at the mega event there, and then have kept it going. This year's is going to be the 8th annual Texas County Challenge Finishers Reunion and Pub Crawl. This year's event is going to be at a brewery in Cisco. We've got permission to block off a outdoor section so that we can be outdoor with our adult beverage of choice and whatnot. I have a 4 foot by 4 foot plywood cutout of the state of Texas that's drawn with all 254 counties in it. And I bring it to each one of these events, and the new finishers who haven't signed the board then get to sign the board. We all have a t-shirt that we can order for finishers. T-shirts are going to be ordered again this year for new finishers. That email and string will go out here later tonight and tomorrow. But we've been doing it for a good long time. The Texas, the TXPA graciously allowed me to piggyback onto their mega event, and it kind of happened that my event was kind of like a placeholder in between the end of challenge, the end of the team challenge, and the scores being announced. And so mine was kind of a filler event in the beginning. It's kind of morphed into its own mini mega event because we have 249 finishers for the Texas County Challenge. And so there's an event this next weekend in Hutto it's GC 941BY. That is the Texas County Challenge finisher number 254 event. Whatever they're hosting an event to figure out who's going to be finisher number 254 because there are 254 counties in the state. We're making the drive down from Colorado to host that event. I'm bringing my big giant plywood cutout board, and it'll be neat to see that event happen. And then again at Texas Challenge, the evening after the team challenge and the individual challenge has happened, I'll be hosting my event again. This year's going to be a little different. I do have a community celebration event, and my goal is to have my finishers reunion event as a community celebration event this year.
So there are people in the chat room that are jealous, but including me. But we've covered this before. We've talked about this, obviously, this event before and the Texas Challenge before. It is not only open to people that have competed in the going counties and everything else. It's open to everybody, right?
Right, absolutely. So anybody's allowed to attend any event. This is a geocaching.com sanctioned event. It's open to everybody. We have in the past had a paper log for people who wanted to sign a logbook. You're not required to have a logbook for events. The big giant plywood cutout that I do have is going to be, it is for people who have finished the challenge. But there, obviously we're going to have, we've got 250 finishers of the event. If you are curious as to how people have gone about finishing 254 counties in Texas, or if you're working on it and you've kind of got a game plan, but you want to bounce it off of some people who have finished, this is a great place to do that. This event's going to have a ton of people who have some have done it in less than a year, and some people have taken 10 years or more to finish it. So it's a good event. Everybody's welcome. Please come out, support small town Texas, and just geocaching and getting to be at an event again. So yeah, welcome and able for anybody to attend.
So Signal's not going to be at your event, but he's probably going to be able to be found sometime this weekend that I think we're going to talk about soon, right? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, we'll get to it. All right. Now, your event. So we're still talking about the challenge part of it before we move on to the big, all the big stuff. This is for Texas, and I've been to this one a couple times, and I'm very jealous. It's an awesome event. We need to have it in our state. There's this guy on the western slope that needs to have it in our state, but he hadn't done it yet. He's lazy. So that may be Charles. But I would say if you're coming to Texas from out of state and you're not a county hunter or whatever else, it's a good time to look at this event and copy it, bring it back to your state. And everybody, there's many people there. Anybody, Charles included, would help you give you some tips on how to set that up in your own state.
Yeah,
they can have one of these events in every single state. Maybe not Delaware, but every other state they should. I think there's 3. You got to get it like 6 times each or something to count. I don't know. Maybe you have to get them all in the weekend and sign the board in Delaware. I don't know.
No, don't bring that up.
Yeah. Really fun event, though. Yeah. Didn't you get 2 of the 3?
I have the top and the bottom. I don't have the middle.
Yeah. Good planning. Okay.
And I'll kind of also add to it. We call it the finishers reunion and block party. So even if you really don't care about the 254, you can still come drink a beer and hang out. So there's just a lot of, and they're going to be bringing in food trucks and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
My husband wants to slap me right now because I said the words "don't care about the 254," but there is that option for those that aren't challenge hunters.
So besides the county event, what else is there anything else going on that weekend?
Oh, just a few things.
Maybe we can talk about those. Yeah. So what do we got? Where do you want to start? And not even the weekend, right? I mean, we're talking several days.
This used to be a 3-day event. It would start Friday night and end Sunday morning. And now what day of the week are we starting?
Tuesday.
Well, it's Texas. If it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing, right? So
That is correct. You are learning.
So who wants to start off? Tell us how you're starting a mega event on a Tuesday.
Michelle, why don't you tell us about the Tuesday event? Circa 1880?
The Tuesday event is about 20 miles from Cisco, but it's a really good restaurant, really cool old building. The building used to be a hardware store from the 1880s, and she serves really good food. So she's small town, hometown girl, and we thought we'd give her a chance to feed some of us. She's fed some of us before, so we're starting out in Baird, Texas on Tuesday.
And when we say 20 miles away, that part of the world, that's a trip to the grocery store.
Yes. Actually, I drive further to the grocery store than that. I drive 22 miles to a grocery store.
So then Wednesday.
There you go.
No.
Go ahead.
Wednesday pizza, correct?
Wednesday we're having pizza. They're in Cisco. And then Thursday we're having 2 events. We're having a donut event in the morning, and we're having a pie event in the evening.
Oh man, that's what I'm talking about.
It is not a low-calorie day.
No, and there are several places in town that can accommodate people throughout the day for various kinds of foods. And I, of course, I had to check them all out over the past couple of weeks, and so far everything that I have had has been awesome.
Well, one thing also, I'm back, and I think Dia, unfortunately, I think it's your mic, but that's why I mute you every now and then. So anyway, so I'm gonna when you need to say something, I'll unmute you. But
Do you want me to try to exit out and come back in, or?
Sure. If you want to take a minute and try that,
yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
All right.
See you in a minute.
Okay.
While she's doing that, one thing I noticed too, Michelle. Now, because you live kind of out that direction. I know we've probably, correct me if you've already mentioned this, right? But you live out near Cisco, right?
Yes. Cisco was my hometown growing up. I was born and raised there, and
Cool.
we moved about 70 miles from Cisco.
Oh, okay. So you're not far, but
No, it's not far at all.
what's interesting is I saw.
Grocery store.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. What was interesting was that it's neat to see, and this is something that, and again, one thing I like to do with when we talk about either Texas Challenge or Moga or Mingo or whatever, and that is for people who are listening or watching, is I always want them to think in the back of their minds about what are some things that I want to make note of in case I ever want to put on a big event, because that's the point. I mean, some people can't come to Texas for an event, that's understandable, but the point of our show is always, what can you learn from other people's events? And one of the things that I think has been very successful for Texas Challenge has been getting the local community on board. One thing I saw, Michelle, that I forget who posted it, but it was interesting that somebody had said that or showed that Cisco, the city, had posted something on their website about people coming for the event. And I thought that was really cool to see that they kind of are embracing this event as well. So I thought that was really cool.
Yes, it was the Chamber of Commerce there, which is also their visitor center.
Right.
The mayor is all on board. She's been awesome and great for us so far. And I've spent a couple of weeks off and on with her. And
Cool.
she said, if y'all were come on.
That's awesome.
Being from a small town, she and I went to high school together.
Oh,
so
neat.
being from a small town, she is the mayor, and she is also the director of the Chamber of Commerce.
How about that?
And a teacher.
And a teacher, of course. You gotta wear many hats when you live in a town like that.
So, and I also went to high school with the chief of police also. So he's ready for us to come. The city manager is actually a geocacher.
Oh, very cool.
He's probably not as hardcore as most of us, but he is a geocacher.
Yep, that's awesome. So
the one thing I will say about this town is when Michelle, and typically how it works, Tom likes to call me the wedding planner, and the bride will be whatever the rep is. And so, the rep will call around and they'll look at different cities. And I think Michelle looked at like 9 different cities, and she came to me and said, this town really wants us and blah, 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 blah. So David and I went out one day and we met her for lunch, and we looked around the city and we looked at the venue. When I say small town Texas, you are literally going to see what it's like to be in a small town in Texas. And it's so cool.
Yes.
I am so excited about just when I talked to the venue that we're at, when I spoke with them, they were like the most gracious, and talk about Southern hospitality.
Yeah.
And so I think it's going to be fun for people to see that small town, Southern charm, Southern hospitality, where, they're rolling out the red carpet for us. It's like, what do you want? Oh, you need that? Okay, here you go. Oh, you need tables and chairs? Oh, you need to shut down a street? Okay, we'll shut down a street. So that's been fun for me to work with the city, because sometimes you got cities that are kind of like, yeah, we're glad you're here, go do your thing. And, we've got a city here that will literally, I could probably ask them to, put on a fireworks show, and they might say yes. So that's been really cool to experience that. And I think that's going to be fun for our visitors to, and the plus side to that is, with COVID going on, it's a small town. So it's not going to be overcrowded. There's not 14 other events in town that same time. So we can spread out. We can adhere to the social distancing needs that we need. And to answer Ryan's question, it's in Eastland County.
Yep. Yeah, I put in the chat room as well there, but
and this town, though, it's not so small that they only have one city limit sign, right?
No. We actually have grown quite a bit. We have a brewery and 2 wineries now. So 2.
So alcohol is covered.
Why don't we have 3 events in?
That's awesome. Yeah, and for people who are planning to come for this event, one of the things too is that there may, on the surface, look like there's not places to stay, but there's actually a lot of different options depending on which way you're coming. I originally had scheduled something for, how many stoplights? Not a whole lot.
One stoplight. That's awesome.
1.
Yeah, but I've switched gears and got a different place, but there's tons of options. It's not my original thought was I was going to stay in Abilene, but that's a little bit of a hike. So I started looking. Yeah, so I started looking around Eastland and the lakes. There's several lakes around the area, and there's still a lot of B&Bs that are available. Maybe not anytime soon because everybody's going to start grabbing up stuff, but there's some hotels in different areas around the area, but so.
Well, and if you go to you go one town over into Eastland, the Holiday Inn is actually offering a special rate to us.
Cool.
So you can go there, and there's 3 big hotels there. So those are options. But yeah, if you call the Holiday Inn and tell them that you're with Texas Geocaching, they'll give you a rate. I think it's $98, I believe.
Okay.
So
is there a code word for it? If there's not, there should be. It should be Barney Smith.
Texas Geocaching. Yes, that is where Barney Smith is from. Yes.
How about that?
Yep. Little tiny facts.
How about that? So, how far did y'all get before I got off there, Jesse? Are y'all through Friday or Thursday?
We're just about to talk about Friday night.
Okay, cool. Let's do that then.
We talked about Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, which that's 3 days already. That's the size of that's normal time for an event. So
I know
we can just cut it off there, and we'll be good. You don't even need Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. What are you talking about?
Oh no, the big stuff comes
all
up then.
Okay, what's going on Friday
night?
But
wait, there's more.
Yeah, wait, there's more for the same price.
Yes.
Friday we'll have registration and pick up packets. And then Friday evening we're going to be eating there at the Wilkes Center. We're going to have food catered right there where the event's going to take place. So that's going to be Friday.
Right. Cool. Yeah. So pretty much like every standard, mega, and again, something to learn is, make sure that you have things prepared for your registration. But Dee, is there anything in particular that people need to know about the registration part or?
Well, I can tell you this, registration is now open as of about 30 minutes ago.
Yay.
So you can go to texasgeocaching.com. We have we're offering three packages. One is the obvious free package that you just register and you can kind of pick what you want to do, whether you're doing the individual competition, the regional competition, or both. You can select all of that, process it, and you're good to go. If you'd like to purchase swag, we have a couple of different options. We've got 2 coins this year. One is honoring the fact that if you're unaware, Hilton had his first hotel in Cisco.
Oh,
and the Thursday night event will actually be at the Hilton Center. And so that is one of the coins. I believe Gary has a picture of that.
Yeah, this is an exclusive. Never before seen before, right?
Nope. No one has seen it before except for the board.
Here we go. Here it is. Nice.
So that's going to be a 3D sculpted coin. And if you participate in the individual competition and you take first place, you'll actually get a gold version of this coin. So it is super cool. And I'm excited about the 3D portion of it.
Does that entice you, Jesse, to come on down?
I wish I could. Nothing is certain in this world right now.
That's for sure. But it's a cool idea that they're going to do that for the challenge people, which we'll get to the challenge later.
Oh, no. Yeah, very cool.
So, and then we'll have an event t-shirt. And then, of course, the other cool thing, and Michelle can probably fill you a little more in on it. There was a kind of infamous bank robbery in Cisco. Michelle, why don't you tell us about the Santa Claus bank robbery?
On Christmas Eve day, Santa came to town and he decided he wanted to rob the bank. And he took a couple of little girls hostage.
Oh, gosh.
They shot up the town trying to get away. They eventually tracked him down. They put whoever was alive in jail. Most of them were deceased. And they put Santa in jail. He was wounded.
Oh my.
And the town of Cisco decided that Santa should be no more. So they went over to the jail in Eastland and they broke him out of jail, overtook the guards and broke him out. And they took him to the tallest thing there was, which was
no.
a telephone pole behind the jail.
Yikes.
And they tried to hang him. The
Wow.
first time the rope failed. The second time it did not.
Oh
So
my.
Santa didn't make it to see trial.
Wow. That's an incredible. Yeah, I remember hearing a little bit about that story. I don't remember all the detail, but in case you're wanting one, you can get the Santa Claus bank robbery coin.
Now, what did they do to his reindeer?
Oh, funny, Tom. The cute thing I like about this, and I want to thank Amber Tuttle for helping us take from our concept design to actual coin and producing them and kind of tweaking everything. And we sent her the picture, and she decided that Santa needed to be turned like he was in a mugshot. And then Jesse insisted, because they have this fascination with Texas and guns, that he had to have a gun in his hand as well. So we're really pleased with the way the koi turned out. And it's going to kind of have that antique look with the color of Santa. So I think it's a kind of a fun coin. I mean, obviously, not everything about the event was good, but it's just kind of a cool commemorative coin. And while you're in Cisco, you can actually see the gun.
Yes, you can see the chief of police's gun, and you can see Santa's gun.
You know, it's been almost 100 years. We can probably laugh at it now. It's okay.
Yeah.
We don't have to be that sensitive. It's okay.
And of course, there's historical markers in the town at the old bank. But the museum has several items from that day. And I'm working on getting pamphlets for the packages.
Right. Just to Santa's helper, Direwolf. It's okay.
Yes.
The real Santa didn't show up. It wasn't him.
Yeah. It was just a fake Santa.
A statewide manhunt for Santa.
A fake Santa.
Santa was really looked for.
Is there a lab cache or an adventure lab devoted to this Santa robbery? If not, why is there not?
Yeah.
There's not currently
not to have one.
There's not currently one, but megas get quite a few of those. So
okay, good.
I see that probably happening.
That's got to happen.
It's because they have a terrible West Texas rep who is very low tech and has no idea how to do one.
We'll get it handled. She's got lots of people on her team.
There you go.
She's got lots of people on her team. So I do want to.
This is before the mega.
Yeah.
Yes. We're Texas. We do it big.
That is true.
So
we should probably talk about the mega now.
Yeah. The mega is going to be, we're going to start off bright and early in the morning. Doors are going to open at 7 o'clock. 8 o'clock is when the challengers take on the town. And you'll have 4 hours to find as many caches as you possibly can, as well as complete at least 3 activity caches, which to me, the activity caches are the best part about challenge. Last year, you either had to be on a bike or a scooter and go through a little obstacle course at a park was one of them. And that was so much fun to watch, because here you have, geocachers aren't always, Ironman competitors, and they had to, get on this, and there were kids there also on this track having a good time. And so they had to maneuver up and down and round. And I spent about 45 minutes at that particular activity cache, and it was hilarious to watch people have to do that. So that's the other kind of fun side to challenge, is not only are you finding the temporary caches, but you have to complete a couple activity caches. And, there's always something crazy and fun about it. So
there have been over the years many different ones. I know, Jesse, I don't remember you remember the ones you did when you were in Denton?
Yeah, I do. I don't remember what they were, but they weren't riding a bicycle. I know that. I think we had a few puzzles to do, but we didn't have to do anything really crazy. I guess they've gotten crazier every year.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Oh,
D,
I muted you. Sorry. Unmute.
There we go. I think we have discussed. It probably won't happen this year because of COVID, and we're trying to make them a little less touching stuff. But at some point, I feel like we have to have a stripper pole at one, just for the heck of it. But we did discuss in our little pre-meeting that maybe a TikTok dance might be included this year.
Oh no!
We always have a lot of fun with the activities throughout the years. There have been tricycles. There have been
chicken dance at Buc-ee's.
Chicken dance at Buc-ee's. You had to put together a puzzle that was like the cover of a cereal box. You've had to potato sack race. There's been smashing balloons. There's been anything and everything. You had to roll a Yahtzee. So we try to make it. We even did in Denton. One of them was you had to name 5 counties in Texas. You had to point to them and say what county it was on a map that wasn't. So that was kind of a handicap for those of you that were from out of state. But if you look at the map of Texas, it's still really hard to tell you which county is which. So, but we always try to make it fun. And the great thing I love about Challenge, and I say this every year, it does not matter what your caching level is. When you get your cords, it'll tell you. And we always do difficulty plus terrain times 2. So a 1-1 would be worth 4 points. And if that's what you can do, then that's what you go do. If you want to go do a 5-5, then go do a 5-5. But that everybody, I mean, I know on the North Texas team, we have 70, 80-year-old couples that are going out and having fun. And then we have our hardcore guys like Brian Erickson and Vince Rowe that go out and, they do the hardcore stuff. But the one thing I love about it is it doesn't matter what your caching difficulty level is or what you can and can't do, you can still participate. And so we've tried to make that open for everybody. And I think we've done a pretty good job of accomplishing that.
There's a silver ammo can at headquarters because out of state won. And my car was a very athletic, young, energetic lackey and 2 old fat guys. And we still had fun. And we obviously we did pretty darn good.
Yeah, there's that's the interesting thing about Challenge, and something that others can take away from this possibly for their own events, and that is you need to kind of think through that, and they really have to get to where everyone has can be a part of it, and that's something that I think is important to do these challenges. Moga is another one that was patterned off of the Texas Challenge. And, the interesting thing is they have different age levels when Moga was doing challenges. I don't know how they're doing it now. I guess they still do challenges. They're just not a mega right now, but, and pretty much everybody here, I haven't competed. I always just go for the fun, but I know Jesse, you've, you competed at Moga and at Texas Challenge both.
Yeah.
Are there what else about the challenge do you think is something that people need to think about, or even maybe can pattern their own event after?
So I personally never want to plan one. I'm not a glutton for punishment.
Right. But
however, some people I really like to go and compete in them and do it. And what I would say is that we say compete. And there's definitely people that are very serious and that plan a long time ahead of time. They get their teams and they're doing their whole SEAL Team 6 thing with all their data people somewhere and everything else. But the majority of people that are going out there just to have fun. It adds something extra to a mega event weekend, and it's fun. People are laughing more than they're doing anything. You should not be getting yourself hurt. You should be having fun. And, we've done Moga and we've done Texas Challenge. And, the good thing is if you show up and you're the only person that there, you'll have some people that by the end of it because you're competing together. And it's not like one of those, pick last at dodgeball or whatever. everybody comes together and they immediately just are friends. You'll jump in a car. I think when I was there, I didn't know the people I jumped in the car with, and we're going with everybody. And it's just, you split all up and have a lot of fun. And any of the competition style megas really bring something completely different to the weekend. You know, your standard, it still has all the standard mega stuff. You have your dinner, you have your food, you have your trackables, you have your caches you're going to get, you're meeting people and everything else. But it adds that extra layer of just fun to the weekend. You know, it's fun to play a game based, and it's really based on the same game you already do, right? I mean, all you're doing is finding caches. They're temporary caches, but you're still going caching, so it's still fun, you know. But I wish we had a lot more of these around the country. Although I understand why, because I've seen behind the scenes, and there's no, you could not pay me. I'd rather quit geocaching before hosting one of these jokers. It's too much. It's too much stuff. I'd rather, go back to checkers or something.
Well, and let me say this. I don't even want to guess what number challenge this is for me. It's up there. I think probably since the day we started caching, I've been involved in all but about 2, maybe 3 of the planning of an event, whether it was running that we actually used to have Camp Kitty Cacher where you could check your kids into daycare while you competed. We don't do that anymore, but in some way or form, if there is a state out there, if there's a group out there that wants to try to replicate this in their state or their what area, dvickery@texasgeocaching.com. Shoot me a message. I would be more than happy to share, basically how we do it and help you kind of get it going, because I think it brings the camaraderie. I mean, there are people that we only see at Challenge every year and that we look forward to it. Since Laura decided to move his wife to Colorado, that's really the only time I ever get to see her.
Yeah.
So it's things like that. So I would love to help. I mean, if somebody wants to replicate it, shoot me a message. I'm more than happy to help you. I've done pretty much every aspect of this. It's a good time, and you can, and like you mentioned, the, planning teams and the SEAL Team 6 and everything. But, look at Tom when he ran with the Lackey. That was the first time they all met that morning.
Yeah.
And they took second place. So yes, all the planning and all of that stuff, I think that kind of adds another level of excitement and fun to it. But you can go have fun and win with somebody you met 10 minutes before, we sounded the horn. So
yeah,
it's, but yeah, if anybody wants to, no, Dee will not come host it for you. Whoever put that, my husband, he would like to know, and ask Tom. No.
David,
I was just seeing if you were paying attention. I didn't know if you were paying attention to the banners.
Yes.
I value my kneecaps.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, no, Dee will not come host it for you, but she is happy to help you organize it from her home.
There you go.
Okay. But yeah, it's so much fun. I mean, I enjoy the planning process of it, and I enjoy the weekend. I am looking forward to the day that it's not me behind that planning and I can actually compete. But until that time comes, it's still a lot of fun, and I appreciate the Julia Baileys of the world who. The Nina Savards that I can call and say, I need you to do this. Yes, ma'am. I'll be right there. So we joke about the shirt that says it sucks to be Dee's friend. And sometimes it does because she needs help and she calls on her friends. But yeah, totally. If you want to start this in your area, shoot me a message. I'd be more than happy to help you.
Awesome. Yes. Yes. So much. So
I was going to say, Jesse, you've been in the car with me. Do you remember just 2 rules I had?
I don't now. What are they?
The first rule was you have to have fun, otherwise I'll kick you off the team.
Oh, yes, I do remember that.
Yep.
And be reasonably safe. I used to say be safe, but that was like
reasonable. You got to be reasonable because you are driving down the road and jumping in and out of a car and doing some other things like that. So reasonably safe, I think, is fair.
Yeah, absolutely. So then the again, for those that want to come and just sort of watch, I always think that's important to point out to people is that you can come to Texas Challenge and just sort of observe and enjoy the full weekend and get out and see what everybody's doing. You don't have to compete if you don't want to. And I think that's the beauty of it, is that there's so much to do that you have a choice. You can either be part of a team, or if you don't want to be part of a team, that's fine too.
Yeah. We've watched and had a bunch of fun just watching.
Yeah,
we watched
did.
one year. We didn't even compete, and it was fun just to watch people do it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now, I guess
so. Let me also say that, so if you don't compete, there's going to be adventure labs. There's all kinds of new caches that just got put out. We're going to have vendors there. I mean, Space Coast has been coming for a number of years. They're super excited to come back this year. Artercraft will be back again with their t-shirts. Right. So there's a ton of stuff to do. If you're not, Friday night, we're going to have a dinner served that you can purchase. There'll be all kinds of path tag trading, travel bug tables. We'll have a silent auction like we always do.
Yep.
So there's all kinds of yay! Thank you for registering, Stacy. There's all kinds of stuff that you can that can be done. And then Saturday, that's kind of the great time to come in after the challenge and people are gone. You can have all of the tables and the silent auction and all that stuff to yourself, and kind of see everything and make your purchases and all that different kind of stuff. So there is so much stuff to do in that. And I mean, even if there was nothing to do there, we put so much into it with, caching and geo art and all that stuff that it's a weekend all in itself, even if you don't compete.
I was going to say, if you look at Cisco right now, Cisco proper, there's maybe 6 caches in the whole area. Zoom out a little bit.
Yeah.
And there is a boatload of stuff. There's all kind of geo art. There's where it goes and puzzles and
the other thing I also want to let you know is Friday night we always have our Hall of Fame inductees. I know Geocache Talk was a inductee last year, and so we'll announce 3 new ones this year as well, and have path tags available for them as well.
Very cool.
Jesse, if you came down, maybe you could pry that ammo can out of Gary's hand and get.
He doesn't let me get close to it.
There it is.
I'm going to bribe Susan to sneak in there and just send it to me.
There we are, Jesse.
That is very cool.
I'm proud of those cans. My hubby makes those.
Yeah, there's probably about 57 layers of blue paint that's been painted and polished and painted and polished and painted and polished. And
look how it shines. You can see everything. See yourself in that, man. That's
in the chat room, somebody asked, is Red Hat going to be there this year as a vendor?
No.
Okay.
And
we only have one t-shirt.
Somebody else had asked if it was every March, and yes, it's every March.
Yeah, it's usually the second weekend in March of every year. So.
Again, then the finishers event that is the Saturday night.
Yeah, I was just fixing to pop that up. No
payoff.
Yeah.
No, we do not.
If you get a speeding ticket, it's on you. It's not.
That is correct.
Dee's not going to pay that for you.
No, TXGA is not responsible, and nor is D for your actions.
That's right.
And I was actually once pulled over in a state park. It was 2011. I was pulled over in a state park because I had 2 people sitting in my trunk that I was trying to transport to another area of the state park. And the state park police lit me up. And I just hopped out of the car, which probably was a really bad call on my part. And I ran and I go, can they not be in there? And he goes, no, ma'am. I said, I'm so sorry. He said, just get them out, close the trunk, and go on, honey. I was like, okay, thank you, bye. So yeah, I was able to smile pretty and got out of that one. But that, and yes, Vince, there will be an individual challenge. You're aware of that. I got your text message. Unfortunately, I'm on Geocache Talk right now, so I can't answer it. But yes,
there's been another thing or two we've got. There's been another thing or two we've gotten out of, but we don't talk about those.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Yeah.
What
happens at challenge stays at challenge, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So the individual the team competition starts at 8 and ends at noon. And then the individual competition, which we haven't really touched on yet, but it's an individual version of this, doesn't start till 4:00.
Correct.
Right? In the afternoon. Okay.
Yes. So, and that is, and everybody kind of knows that Moga came down here and saw how we did that and took it up there and made it their own. Well, we went up to Moga and watched the individual competition and added that to ours. And the very first year we did it, there was so much bloodshed out there. Vince wrote TTO2, Kat and Kathy did it, and you probably could have gotten several pints of blood from people coming out of those woods.
Oh gosh.
But
Yeah, we needed the blood bank there, not for donations, but to give back.
Yeah.
Gosh.
But yeah, so we do have an individual one. So, you know, and that was kind of created for people that maybe didn't want to do the team thing, because well, it depends on whose side of the aisle you're on. Texas does have a history of winning the original competition. So we kind of started the team competition to help people that were a little upset with North Texas win it. And it's become a really fun aspect of it. So there maybe 22.
Yeah.
I hope so, and I wish they were open this year, but hopefully they'll be open in 2022.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing is it's the longest continuous running mega, so we're pretty sure it's going to keep going, right?
Yeah, I guess we stopped running last year. Yeah. So.
But can you do both the individual and the team competition?
If you are crazy, yes, you can.
Well, it is geocacher, so there's a lot of crazy geocachers,
and a lot of people do. We have people that do both. I like to tease Adam Demshire quite often because Lady Black Cat, his lovely wife,
Yep.
when we did it a couple years ago, she actually competed in both. He competed in the first one and decided, nah, I just want to go have a beer. So I went to go get a quick bite in between, and I stopped by the individual competition, and Leslie had just started, and I was like, where's Adam?
He's like,
Oh, okay. Went to eat. I walked in the restaurant, and Adam was sitting with a bunch of people with a beer in his hand. I was like, dude, your wife is out there running it. And he goes, yeah, I wanted a beer. So there are crazy people that do both, and more power to them.
I did it once.
That's it. Never again. Yeah.
That was Denton. I lost too much blood.
Individual too, as we've, as you can imagine, is all based on age groups, and the men compete against the men, so forth, that kind of thing. So,
and it's timed and it's all on foot.
Yeah, timed and all on foot. So we're not. Yeah, exactly. So,
are the thorny things in that area? Or are they just like the normal cactus? It's not like Denton where they have thorny things that the thorns have thorns.
Yes, it is, Adam.
Everything will poke you, bite you, or stick you.
That's right. Welcome to Texas.
Amen.
That just adds to the challenge. It's no big deal.
It's West Texas, so everything
true.
will poke you, bite you, or stick you.
But you don't have honey locust.
Yes, I
No.
do.
Do we?
Yeah.
David says you do.
Oh gosh.
They got everything.
I'm not kidding. That thing has thorns that long, and then on the thorns there was thorns probably about
On
that
top
long.
of the thorns?
Yeah, there were thorns coming out, and it was.
And we also what I lovingly call jumping cactus. You get within 10 feet of it, and it's got you.
Yes, very much.
I'm gonna be with Adam drinking beer.
There you go. That's the plan.
I'll take the shame with him.
And then to starting to wrap up the Friday night finishers event. We've already talked about the finishing the Texas Challenge part of it, but tell people about this. Is really exciting to hear how the evening is going to go. I thought this was neat when you told me about the Friday night festivities. Is that where the block party?
The block party is Saturday night.
Oh, Saturday night. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
The finishers reunion and block party are the same thing.
Same night. Yeah, that's what I meant. Not Friday night. I meant Saturday night. So Saturday night, shutting down the town.
Pretty much.
That's cool.
Yeah. And they're happy to do it. So we're excited. So
she said that anything that we needed, we could have. And you usually have to vote. The city council used to have to vote on that kind of stuff about when they have festivals about closing down the town. And she said, it's a done deal. And she sent an email to let everybody know, hey, we're closing this street off. Y'all figure it out.
That's awesome.
That's funny.
Yeah. So, and then,
There's still more though. There's still Sunday.
Yeah, there's still Sunday. So tell us a little about Sunday.
Sunday we'll be having breakfast and having the winners of the competitions announced. And then we'll also be going to the city park for the Ceto on Sunday.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah, that's a thing that happens every year, which I love.
So at the breakfast, they'll also announce where we're going in 2022.
Oh, yeah. Now,
So-
what region is it? We can know what region it is, right?
You can. It's the Southeast region.
Southeast. Okay. There you go.
So that Southeast region, that's like Fort Collins, Colorado. Is that where we're going to have it next year? Is that what we're doing? Or
No.
I'm
little
thinking
bit
that you
far
need
out?
to look at a map.
Okay. I'm just hoping,
You know, I think that would be a great place for a Colorado challenge. Why don't you work on putting that together?
I think you missed the earlier part where I said I'd rather quit geocaching than do one of these myself.
You and Charles get together and get her done.
No,
That's right.
Charles can do it. My wife would execute me in the middle of the street if I signed up to do that.
Jesse did his duty with 14er Woodstock.
Yeah, many years ago, and
that's it.
I'm more likely to get divorced than do another mega. So they can cause each other. So I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
You know, I say all the time I'm married to a very forgiving man, because many a times I've said, all right, this is my last year. This is my last year. And something happens and I get roped into another year, which I do enjoy it. But, he's just like, he'll just looks at me and it's like, okay. Because the problem with me getting roped into it, or me signing up and saying yes again, yes, you would. Your wife said, Jesse, is that means he also is, which means like last year, he was the captain of the high team in a region we didn't even live in. So, that was tough on him, but he also does the ammo cans. So it's a minimum of 6 ammo cans every year, 3 for Hall of Fame and then 3 for challenge. So there's a lot of work involved for him too. And it's kind of one of those things where he's voluntold, he doesn't get the option. So he,
Hey, Dee, tell David to poke his head in for a minute.
poke your head in a minute, honey.
Yeah, I'm here.
There's
I have no idea what she got roped into for next year, but I want to make it perfectly clear that me and my kneecaps had absolutely nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I'm not blaming you anymore, Tom.
Okay.
off the hook.
Yeah. I think it's actually an annual tradition for Dee to come on and say this is her last year doing mega events.
Well, I'm telling you, it's not.
How long we've been podcasting, so I'm just, it's about time for you to say it again.
Well, I would, except for that I've already committed to another year. So.
Committed to another
That's
year.
the other part of the tradition that you break it. So.
One more year. Let's do it again.
There's
One
a
more
few certain
year.
people in this world that can ask me to do things, and unfortunately, Brian Erickson is one of them. So
there you go.
We've got, and on that note, I will let you know that 2020 ruined the annual tradition of Lone Star Roundup.
Yes.
But it will reappear this year in 2021. We've already locked it in. We're going to Lake Mineral Wells State Park.
Oh, cool.
It's on October 16th. And we are, you'll be able to book your spaces at the camp in a couple of months. And we're going to kind of take it back to its original roots and do Dutch oven cooking contests and things like that. So,
Very cool.
and if I can steal one more second besides challenge, I'd also like to announce that you can register online for challenge. You can also register online to join TXGA.
Yes.
And we have another amazing coin this year. It was, there it is. It is currently getting its numbers etched in and will be on a hopefully fast boat from China to us.
Right.
Do you have the back of it? The back of it's really cool. It was designed by our South Texas rep, Brenda Mark, Wild Rose of Texas.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful coin. So that all the membership details are online. So both of those, and we've streamlined the website thanks to, there it is. Thanks to Reese Tuttle. So it should be a whole lot easier to register, join your membership, and all that kind of stuff. So, 2020 slowed us down, but I think that we just kind of kept pulled our bootstraps up and are moving forward. I will say this. Dita's last minute winning. Yes, I did. Yeah, Laura. When you come to challenge, if you have concerns about COVID, and please follow the page, we will make announcements. But we are full steam ahead. We are planning on going through with this, but we will be adhering to social distancing. You will be wearing masks, things like that. All the stuff that are required by the state and the county and all of that stuff. So we are going to be doing our best to stay as safe as possible, and to do what is required of us.
Right.
So I believe we can have a good time, but a safe time.
Yeah.
So please know we will have sanitizer. We will, we're modifying some of the activities so that, there's not close personal, that kind of stuff. But we're doing our best to help fight this, and because we want this over with just as much as every other state does.
Yeah.
So TXGA is going to do the very best we can to stay in compliance with everything, but give everybody a chance to come to an event. I think there's 9 or 10 total events the whole weekend, and have a good time, but also stay safe.
So here's a question.
Okay.
Who can join the TXGA? Who can go in there and register?
Anybody can join. Yes, you've got the cowboy hat.
Yeah, I've got one.
TXGA. If you live out of country, you have to get with us because we have to calculate your shipping, and that's not done online. But anybody can join TXGA. You have to live in the state of Texas in order to have a vote, but in our elections. But other than that, yep, that's last year's the boots. But anybody can join. If you live out of state, you're just not allowed to vote, but you still get the coin or coins depending on which membership you join.
That boot can be used as a weapon. How much
That
does
thing
it
is
weigh?
heavy.
Yeah, they forgot to drill out the center of it.
It's solid.
It is.
It's heavy.
Everything in Texas is bigger and better, right?
That's right.
Absolutely. Part weapon, part paperweight, part trackable coin. I actually just shipped one of those to Sweden.
Did you really? Wow.
Yeah. Someone had been searching and searching and searching, and we had an extra, so we sent it.
Almost the hat. We should put the hat on top of the.
Well, and there's also a spur from Geo Woodstock.
So I got the spur.
Collection.
So
I got the spur too.
Eventually, you'll have the whole guy built. I need some breeches and then like the shirt.
We need some chaps and a vest. And...
If you can make them all fit together like the old Transformers, that'd be pretty cool.
Okay, don't tempt me because I'll work with Tuttle to get it done. So
that's awesome.
Our wolf's stirring up some real trouble tonight.
That's just our refrigerator.
We're okay with it. We understand.
We understand, but we can cash our entire state all year long.
That's right.
That is true.
That is true. We have more counties, I think, than everybody else. Makes for a harder challenge, which you all have talked about before. But
that could be a whole show there. Which county challenge is harder? Alaska.
Which one's harder?
We could have one show on that one. We may have to do that in the future.
I would think Florida is probably the hardest.
Please, we did Florida in a week.
Colorado's tough just because of the topography.
Yeah, there's areas. I think Dee and David went up there and did that like in a morning before they came to my coffee event.
Yeah. Do we still? I have to have David look it up. I believe we have more Colorado counties than Jesse does.
Yes, that's true.
I'm missing a couple. I'm only missing about 5 now, so
that's not bad.
We need 7, so maybe you finally have us beat.
Oh yeah, I'm going to finish that this year, COVID or no COVID.
All right, challenge accepted, honey. We're going to Colorado. We're going to finish it before Jesse.
Oh no!
Oh no! Yeah, it's a little tricky to get to the final ammo can to sign that, but
that would be state number 9 for us, or 10, 9 or 10.
Can we get to Colorado through Indiana for me?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Michelle, you want to talk about counties?
Michelle. Yeah.
She's a rock star. How many counties do you have now?
I'm not sure. I usually have to ask David.
You got
I
a
think it's a
ton.
neighborhood of 2,700.
2,700 counties.
Now, not 270.
No,
She has
no.
2,700
Yes.
counties.
If it wasn't for that dang East Coast, she'd be done.
Yeah, Michelle's map is like more full than anything other than not full for sure. With that many counties, that's incredible. Nathan's in. Thanks, Super Nate. Georgia's the toughest one, just because of the number of counties. You have to kind of think ahead or plan ahead. So now Super Nate, since he's popped in, I will mention that we're really looking forward to the little one that'll be born soon for Super Nate in Call to Care. So keeping the baby watch, Nate. How tell us how many? I think we're down to days now, aren't we? Before the baby's born, I'm not sure, but anyway. All right. So what else do we want to finish up with tonight?
And that's basically it. The website is texasgeocaching.com.
Okay.
We have a Facebook page. You can always shoot a message through that. We'll put my email up if anybody's got any questions about stuff. We're more than willing to answer them. But if you're thinking about coming to an event and you can safely do it, come see us, come play with us.
Yep.
It's a lot of fun. We have a good time. We're going to do it in a safe manner.
Yep.
But Texas Challenge is it's near and dear to my heart. It's something that I enjoy putting on. I enjoy seeing the people, and even if you come and you don't know a single soul, find me. I'll find a soul to hook you up with for the weekend, and you'll be lifelong friends. I mean, back in 13, when we were down in Port A, my job for the weekend was to escort Della Bella. She was the lackey from HQ, and her and I still communicate. And when David and I went up there several years later, we kind of got to see HQ and talk with her, and so you can know nobody and end up knowing so many people when you leave. So it's a great event. It's you need to try to come to a challenge, not just because we put it on or because it's us, but it's such a unique event that you just, if you're from out of town, sign up to play, and we'll make sure you got a team and you can run and play and have a good time. And so I just hope people will come out, and like I said, if they have questions, they can shoot them to us. We'll be happy to answer. But come see Small Town Texas. I think you'll be surprised at Southern hospitality at its finest.
No, I agree. I agree completely. Yeah, it's interesting. Like you said, there's a dynamic about it that you can get, at geocaching events. And that's always the wonderful thing about geocaching events, especially the one, like I said, for Texas, is because you get to meet a lot of neat people, and people are so friendly and helpful, even if you're from you're not from the area. It's just amazing just to see people and just walk up and ask somebody a question, and they're more than willing to help. And it's also a chance. Typically, I think a lackey has come down for it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dee, but we've had a lackey from HQ come. Gosh, for how many years now do you think?
We didn't have one in Bastra, or not Bastra.
Yes, we did. We had Bastra.
Seguin. We did not have one in Seguin.
Okay.
But other than that, we've had one pretty much every year, except for our first year, because we went mega like 3 weeks before.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've had one. We had a lackey come every year.
Yeah. So it's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah, it is to talk to somebody from HQ is always unique. Get their perspective on things, and show them a little fun, and so the East
and they
team,
usually compete too. They usually compete.
Yeah, they usually do. They mentioned that
K13 is recruiting in the chat room. It looks like
for East team.
Hey,
They
you know
said
what?
they
They mounted a good defense last year. They came on strong.
yeah they
That
said
East
they're
team
the
came on
fun
strong.
bunch. Yeah,
They
it
are.
is. It's always fun to see the different to talk with the different teams and to see them and to joke with them and it's always fun to talk to the Evil Empire because they're all wearing the same shirts and they put on they got the very stoic, they got the music playing, they got the Dark Vader stuff going on, they're wearing black,
Oh
the whole
gosh.
thing. In case you're wondering, that's North. I assume everybody knew that, but
You
they're
know, it's its own dynamic, and it's so fun because, and I think you've said this before in previous years, everybody is joking and laughing, but you get there at 7 o'clock that morning, and all of a sudden everybody is in their own little camp. And they're friendly to one another, but you can kind of tell there's like this static in the air. And we have a cashier every year. She doesn't play, but she buys the cutest. Call me Velma, Leanne. She buys the cutest little pirate stickers, and every year she goes around. Well, for so many years, I don't compete, so I call myself Switzerland,
right.
because I have to make decisions, and I can't be for a team. And every year she'll come up and she'll grab my badge and she'll flip it over to the back and she'll slap a pirate sticker on it and she'll turn it back around. And it's just kind of always this thing between us. And
Yep.
it's a lot of fun. And that rivalry, back in the day, it was North Texas and Central Texas, and then it
Southeast.
was North Texas and Southeast, and now it's kind
Southeast.
of North Texas and East Texas because we're so close, and we
Yep.
go to each other events, so we
Yep.
kind of egg each other on. And I know last year Vince and I think it was Kevin K13 and Glenn, we're kind of going back and forth about, will you send me the measurements for that can so I can make sure it'll sit on my shelf. And so it's just fun. It's all in good fun, and it's just fun.
See,
Sarah's asking,
I love North, but
you're not allowed to get a North Texas shirt. They don't give them to anybody. You have to have somebody die on the North
Yeah.
Texas team to get
No,
a North Texas shirt.
you just need to contact Jordan, not your mama,
Oh,
and
there
he
you go.
handles all of that. I stay out of the team stuff because of my position, but just contact Jordan, not your mama.
Okay, there you go.
I am easily bribed with food, and Kevin feeds me well.
But that is why you are not on the score team.
That's right, because he's way too easily bribed. So, all right, well, good deal. I guess Jesse, you want to give? We'll let you kind of give the final word, and we'll wrap up tonight.
Yeah. So even from a person outside of the state, obviously I don't live in Texas. I live in Colorado. It is a blast. Obviously, people in Texas know a lot about this already, but for everybody outside of Texas, the rest of the world, the part that has COVID, it's amazing to get to go to events. But if you've never been to one of these challenge type events, and this has 2 or 3 things, and it's Tuesday through Sunday, this is a lot of fun. And I haven't won this one or anything yet, but give it time. I'll get down there.
You won MOGA, so
it's a lot of fun. You won't walk away without more friends than you got there with. You'll have tons of good food. Everybody's friendly. Obviously, all the swag is there. That's at every mega event. And mega events are really mega weeks now, just like this one is. It's like Tuesday to Sunday. So
right.
It's a great way. And this being in a small town, if you've never been before and you're kind of on the fence of whether to go to an event this year, you'll be able to. It won't be like 5 million people.
Right.
So you can still be safe and go to this event. So I wish I could be down there this year. I probably won't be able to be because of my work schedule, but I will be back to this one because this was a lot of fun. I love the challenge type events. These are, if you've never done one, you really should.
This town is big enough to have a Dairy Queen, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, okay, there you go.
So you're in good shape. See,
we're okay.
We're okay.
We have a Sonic. We have Denny's. We have a Chicken Express, Steakhouse.
Sweet tea.
2 Mexican food places, Chinese food, delis. We've got everything. It's just small.
Right. Exactly. No, it's wonderful. Looking forward to it. It's it's something that. Oh, thanks, Nate. Yep, Super Nate Whataburger. Of course, is there a Whataburger?
No.
No Whataburger. Well, that's all right.
No
You
Whataburger.
get you probably Eastland. You can go to Eastland and get a Whataburger probably.
No.
No, dang
No.
it.
You have to drive 40 miles to get Whataburger in several different directions.
I can get sweet.
We'll be doing that caching anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
We can all load up in a van and go.
Yeah. Well, we can get.
Pick me up at number 4.
We'll go to Chicken Express, get us some sweet tea. So we're all set. But yeah, again, thanks everybody. Thanks Dee for coming on, and Michelle for telling us, and Tom too. I want to forget Tom, but how do I forget you, Tom? How did it work out? I'll see you Tuesday. We got Puzzle Talk coming up. So.
Oh, do we have a topic?
Puzzle Talk. You better get on it. It's coming up. So, but yeah, looking forward to it. And stay tuned. We'll give people all the information during the event that we can. I'll try to give people information so they can kind of feel like they're there as well a little bit. So, and Julia, thank you so much. Yeah. So look forward to seeing everybody. Yes. Yep. Hearts go out to everybody. So, all right. I think we are done, and we will see everybody soon. And don't forget, tell people about CacheCon coming up January 30th. Do not forget to tell people, and let's get everybody involved in that as well. And then come to Texas Challenge in March. So, all right, here we go.
Folks, we hope you've enjoyed the show tonight. Please email us your comment at geocachetalk@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The show can be found on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Radio Public, or Spotify, as well as at the Geocache Talk website. Don't forget to click that subscribe button below and ring that bell notification so that you can see and hear the show on a weekly basis. And tell your friends about the show. Get them involved with us in the chat room. And until next week, don't just talk about geocaching, go geocaching.
Go. All right. Say good night, everybody.
Hey, before we're gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you bring up that Hilton coin again?
Yeah, I can.
Why?
Because somebody said they saw a mistake in it.
Oh, don't tell me that.
There sure is. Look
What?
at the bottom left.
What?
Huh? I didn't see that the first 2 times I looked at it.
What?
Cisco.
60
Oh.
Texas.
It's 6-0.
I don't see the 6.
Not a
Now
6.
look at how Cisco is spelled
Oh, it's supposed to be CISCO. Oh, goodness gracious.
on both
Okay,
sides, front and back.
Yes.
CISCO. Oh, it's
It is
right.
on the other one. Yeah.
That's a cool coin
Yes,
now.
okay. All right, I got to get on that. I'll talk to you guys later.
Hey, those will be valuable coins there one
It
day.
will be. It'll be very valuable.
No. We've
God, I hope
already had one of those kind of oopses, and
Hey, those are fun. Those are like the 3, when you get the reverse
Okay.
coin. All right, bye. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
night.
Jesse just texted